But now on Yorkshire, the return of Fight Night with Gary Newburn.
Television's most popular boxing series is back. Welcome to another season of Fight Night. Tonight, Birmingham's Kostas Petrou seeks to maintain his progress towards challenging for the British welterweight title he held 3 years ago. So, a former champion trying to re-establish himself. And throughout the forthcoming series, Fight Night will once again be bringing you the very best of boxing from around the regions. A potent mix of these established stars, together with the exciting new faces. And it all starts again here at the Oldham Sports Centre with Petrou against Ensley Bingham. Bingham, who's 25, came late to the professional ranks, but has been impressive. His only defeat was a narrow one to another former champion, Clinton Mackenzie. A win here, and he could make a legitimate challenge for Kirtland Lang's British crown. In contrast, Petrou is a seasoned professional with 36 fights. 11 of his 29 wins have come inside the distance, and he's proved himself at the highest domestic level. Bingham against Petrou then. Let's go ringside now and join boxing's best commentary team, Jim Watt and Reg Gutteridge.
Seconds out, round two.
So we're into the second round then, just a look round at the start with Ensley Bingham in white trunks and Kostas Petrou. Petrou, the former champion from Birmingham, the Greek tank, born in Birkenhead, and Ensley Bingham, the really hot prospect from Manchester. Only its 6th professional fight and 1 loss, and that was to the former champion Clinton Mackenzie. And it looks as though it's going to warm up to a good one. It has all the makings anyway. 29 wins Kostas Petrou against 7 losses. Some class in Ensley Bingham, and well, we know that Petrou's one of the toughest fellas in the business, but he picks his punches well, this fella Bingham.
Yeah, Bingham has a very nice relaxed style, brings punches from all angles, very clever cultured punches, a fair bit of power behind them too. Petrou's going to have to exert a little bit more pressure. Petrou's moving forward, but not really putting Bingham under enough pressure, and he's a dangerous looking fellow.
He won't get an easy night with Petrou, though, as we know, won his championship against Rocky Kelly for the welterweight title in Darlington, 9 rounds. What a war that was, and shown on ITV. Petrou's got to try and rough up, take him out of his stride a bit. I think that would be the plan. Bit of a seasoned match to take, Jim, and only his 6th pro fight, but he's good enough, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is good enough, and the fact that he's been in with Clinton Mackenzie, so he has the confidence to go in with someone of Petrou's class as well. But he's coping with everything. Actually, he's, believe it or not, little moves we're seeing, he's looking the more experienced of the two. He doesn't lack confidence, nice relaxed style. Yeah, he's certainly a good prospect.
Well, if it goes 10, we'll find out then, because Petrou's no quitter, that we know. Well named, really, the Greek tank, although he was born in Birkenhead. Well, the crowd certainly got themselves warmed up, and a good round there for Ensley Bingham. And and the Lynch brothers. And who's in the corner on the left there is Pat Cowdell. There you are. You can't keep him away. The roar of the crowd, so he's got to do it as the second now. The former featherweight and super featherweight champion is now enjoying his retirement. Well, there it is. There's the information. And his last fight was in June '88. It's sort of a comeback for this fellow. He boxed at Gary Somerville on a Pat Cowdell show, actually, and outpointed Dave McCabe after he'd retired for a while after losing to Michael Harris. Lost his championship to Sylvester Mitty. Round 3 of this scheduled 10 welter. 10 stone 7. That's welter, but they came in at 10 stone 10, both of them. And gum shield popped out there, Jim. Is that Petrou's?
Yeah, I believe it's Petrou's gum shield has come out, yeah.
See, in the States now, in most states, they're picking them up and putting them back. And, of course, if you watch the Olympic Games, they did it there. Providing they're not spitting them out, if they're genuinely knocked out. And I think it's a pretty good rule. Got to stick to the stand-up boxing, Bingham, Jim, don't you think?
Yeah, well, Bingham looks just that little bit slicker than Petrou. Petrou's coming forward, but he's not moving his own head enough, and Bingham's actually quite enjoying it. Just as I'm speaking, he's knocked Petrou's head back again. Petrou's going to have to raise the pace and really get on top of Bingham. He's given him too much room to work, too much time to throw his punches.
Obviously, crowd are very much on Bingham's side. Just a straight left up the road from Manchester here in Oldham.
Bingham also has a nice tight defence. Whenever Petrou comes forward, he gets his elbows tucked in nice and tight, brings his hands up to cover his face. Good defence, good punches. As I said earlier, a good prospect.
He'll keep plugging away Petrou, though, Jim. He won't give him too much respite as the fight goes on.
Yeah, Petrou never gives up, and probably the longer the fight goes, and he finds it maybe that little bit easier to get to Bingham. But too often Petrou's been caught with his head up in the air, and Bingham's doing a lot of good work with his own left hand.
Oh, there's some accurate shots going in there, both of them. Bingham's always looked more spectacular. A little tap at the end of that round, and it was very difficult to hear that bell. We're into the 4th round, and it really has worked up to a good contest, this. Well matched, despite the experience of Petrou with 29 wins, 7 losses, against 5 wins, 1 loss for Bingham. Bingham looks like, he had a bit of experience as an amateur in America, Jim, and it looks as though he bases his style on American way. He can turn punches all the time. He picks them well.
Yeah, good balance, a good relaxed style, and punches from all angles. He really looks far more experienced than 6 fights. very good with his left hand. Petrou's finding it difficult to get past that left hand to score some effective punches of his own.
Well, that was fairly obvious, wasn't it? Gets a long lecture from Mickey Van. And that's a good idea to keep doing that. It gives the other fellow a little bit of chance to feel okay again, if you can, after a low punch. But of course, they've got the obligatory foul-proof protector on. Also a good sign with Bingham there, Jim. They didn't make too much of that low punch, which he could have done. Some other fighters would.
No, but just get back on with the job again. Petrou's trying to raise the pace, trying to put Bingham under a little bit more pressure, and this is what he has to do. But it doesn't seem to be troubling Bingham. Bingham's quite glad just to stand and trade with him. And he seems to have the edge and power. Bingham's punches seem that little bit more powerful than Petrou's.
To the last minute of the fourth, and coming out for this round, Bingham's trainer Phil Martin says, come on, take over now. Well, he certainly got a good start, but this fellow plods on, and he'll keep going at the finish, that's for sure. And he's having a good round here, Kostas Petrou. That's the first time he's really been tagged consistently there, Jim.
Well, this is what Petrou has to do, raise the pace and get involved in the kind of fight that suits him. Don't allow Bingham to enjoy his own cultured boxing at a nice casual pace. Petrou has to raise the pace and keep it there. Easier said than done because they're going at a cracking pace already, but that was really some good successful work from Petrou there.
Well, I'll tell you, first show of the season, Jim, and we're at it again with some really knockout fights here.
See, this is the kind of action that suits Petrou. This is where he has to keep it. Get way up against Bingham, don't give him any room to work, and just keep those punches coming.
Well, Pat Codell's in charge of the water spray in there. I think he wants to give him a bit of a verbal ear bashing as well. Jim, have a look at this now. It's fast enough, even in very slow motion. That was a low punch there. Yeah, it was almost on the thigh. And we're into the fifth round of a scheduled 10, and it really is some contest, this. He really is a gritty customer, isn't he, Petrou? He's taken a share of stick, but he keeps piling back. And so is Bingham, Jim. It looks as though he doesn't mind taking a shot or two to get some in.
Well, it was a real test, a real chance taking this punch with Petrou. But Bingham is not giving Petrou the last word. When Petrou scores with some good punches, Bingham comes flashing back with some of his own. Really, it's been a cracker all the way through. Okay, this is what Petrou has to do. He has to dictate the pace. He has to try and control the action and to keep Bingham under pressure. Up until now, he's not been putting him under enough pressure.
Quite a stylish punch, that left hook to the body. What's that with Ensley Bingham? crowd really reacting to every punch now, including those from Petrou, which they didn't at the start, did they?
Yeah, well, Bingham's defence is not just quite as tight as it was in the first couple of rounds. He's looking that little bit looser, and the fact that Petrou has raised the pressure, he's taken advantage of that, getting home with a lot more punches than he was previously. So he's really developing into a cracker.
Round 6. A little bruising then, or swelling under the left eye of Ensley Bingham. And the Greek tank, as he's nicknamed, has really been marching on this last few rounds. Ensley Bingham really looked business at the start, but now obviously the experience of a former champion is beginning to show. And he's never lacked heart. He retired for a while, Petrou, because he wasn't satisfied with his showings. He lost his championship to Sylvester Mitty, and then a contest to Michael Harris. But he's looked good in his comeback. I was saying earlier about the left hook there coming in. That really is a good punch the way he uses that, isn't it? He doubles it up, Jim, Ben.
Yeah, he has a good variety. The pattern of the fight changed slightly in the previous round. Petrou wasn't giving Bingham as much time as he'd enjoyed in the earlier part of the fight, and he was being caught with a lot more punches, but he's really rallied back in this round and got himself right back into it again. You think that Bingham shows a few little distress signals, Jim, or not, even though he can't be because he's throwing good punches, but he looks a bit, oh dear, this fella's tougher than I thought face sometimes, don't you think? Yeah, well, it is a hard day. This is probably the toughest match Bingham's been involved in, but he's coping with it well. He's never looked too worried. He's taken some real solid shots from Petrou, but he always tries to come back with his own. He tries not to let Petrou have the last word. I haven't seen any distress signals, but as you say, it's harder than he thought it was going to be.
Oh, spectacular stuff now in the 6th by Bingham.
So I think a little bit more power in Bingham's punches, just maybe the thing that turns this fight around. He certainly seems to have that little bit more power that Petrou lacks.
I'm always suspect of saying, could he stop Petrou? I mean, he's such a tough guy, but there was a moment or two there when the referee looked as though he just might start diving in, but he's back again, Petrou. Incredible. See,
this is where Petrou breaks people's hearts, when they connect with a barrage of punches and Petrou comes storming back at them. He's done this so often.
Seconds out. Round 7.
7th round of a really tough welterweight battle, this. Right from the start, Jim Watt and I said, well, on paper it must be. And I think not only is it living up to expectations, it's surpassing them. Oh, and what a turnaround this is. Petrou in trouble in the 6th, and now he's got a chance of stopping Bingham here, and they're slugging it out in the 7th. This man's incredible, Jim, isn't it? The way he can come back from almost brink of defeat.
Well, yeah, again, he's producing the goods. He's never shown the power to seriously trouble Bingham before, but he just came out and caught him with one clean shot, bang on the chin. Full credit to Bingham for standing there and not going over, because that was a cracking punch, and his legs still haven't recovered from it. Petrou must really pour it on now.
The way they're going, they'll be lucky if they're both standing at the 10th round.
Petrou's taken too long to take advantage of that. He should be moving and picking his punches, but get the punches flowing.
And he's in, and it's over. Ensley Bingham, a brilliant start and a great finish by Kostas Petrou. And doesn't Pat Lynch, the manager, know it? And Mickey Van did the right thing there, Jim, diving in.
Yep, well, Bingham never really recovered from the first cracking punch from Petrou. I didn't think Petrou had the power to do that with one shot, but he's proved us wrong. A cracking punch it was. He took his time after it. I thought he'd taken too long, but no, he took his time, waited for the next opportunity and wrapped the whole thing up. A fabulous performance from Petrou. That'll really boost his confidence in this comeback.
And here it is now, Jim. We can see this finish. As you say, he was backing off the ropes. It looked as though he wasn't going to take advantage, and then bingo, that was Bingham on the chin there, and he was never going to recover from that, and the referee was quite right as he dived in there.
Kostas, you looked as if you're going to be in trouble in the 6th, and then the 7th you stopped it all.
No trouble at all. What I was doing, Gary, actually, was just having a little rest, because I'd done a little bit of work earlier. All due to our man over there. He was strong and he was stylish, like, you know, but I managed to hold him, and I said to myself, ease off and see what he can do. And he showed me, and there was nothing there, and I just felt like I was just getting stronger and stronger. The tank is truly back. It
came quickly at the end there. Let's take you through that 7th round, yeah, when all the damage happened. What do you remember about this?
Well, all I remember is, like, he was doing not too bad, like, you know, he was coming, he was jabbing, he was moving, he was doing everything right, and I just said to myself, well, hold on, you know, this guy's ready for the taking, and I just moved in. As you can see, I had the rest before, and I just came storming back, and that's what I say, the tank's rolling on, and there he goes. He's got no chance. I've just felt like I was getting stronger and stronger.
I thought for a moment you're going to let him off the hook. You took some while to stop him in there.
I let a lot of guys think that until I come back, and then I surprised them more. They just think, where's this guy coming from? And here I am. There, as you see, I'm still hitting him. I'm not easing up, I'm just keep on hitting him. And it's the referee that's got to pull me off in the end.
Well, you won. Now, it's an interesting situation because you've got to wait now while they have the eliminator for the British title between Rocky Kelly and the unbeaten George Collins.
I don't care. Let them fight. Let them sort it out. I'm there. I'm waiting. I don't care who I take. I'll fight anybody. I'm not bothered. The tank is here, and I'm staying for now.
So a very good win there for Petrou, and as Jim Watt said in his commentary, he really does break the hearts of his opponents. Manchester's Najib Daho was making his comeback.